Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am thrilled to be coming to you today with another fresh new episode for you. This is going to be a very fun episode, and we have returning guest of the show, Ezra Mcarthy with Green Frog Web Design. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm blessed.
Blessed. That's a good word, man. I like that. I like that response. You know, Dave Ramsey does the whole better than I deserve. A lot of people say good. A lot of people say I'm doing well. Blessed is a good one, though. That sounds like it's coming from a man of faith. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us today. Really quickly, I want to just, if nobody has heard of you and what you are doing with Green Frog Web Design, tell us really quickly, rundown of what that is. We'll dive into that a little more as we get into the show, but let's just familiarize ourselves with you so everybody knows who they're listening to. And then I want to get into some really good topics today. This is going to be one that's packed full of value, guys. It's kind of why we're going straight into it, getting the small talk out of the way and just hopping right into the meat and potatoes here, because we're going to talk lead gen and lead generation and the importance of that, and kind of some steps that we can be doing to help us out with that. As business owners, that's one of our biggest things is we have to generate leads, we have to sell work, we have to produce revenue, and that's a big pain point for a lot of guys out there. So, Ezra, take it away, man. This is your show. I just want to hear from you and talk about, like I said, a little bit about yourself, and then let's hop into the whole lead gen conversation.
Sure. Our business, Green Frog Web Design, our goal is to help lawn care businesses earn more money and have more time freedom. And the way we want to help lawn care businesses and landscape businesses do that is through helping them with websites and online marketing. And we want to make it so a business of any size, whether they started yesterday or have been in business for 5-10 years, have started. So we offer a monthly plan, and literally the first month is $1. And you're going to get your website back in 3 weeks or less, or it's free for a year. And so we want to help the smaller to any size business grow and generate the leads. And by doing that, get more time freedom, and with that, financial freedom as well.
That's awesome, man. I love it. We've actually, I know quite a few guys who have signed up with you and are loving their websites so far. So glad to hear that everything's rocking and rolling on that side of things. But tell us what is your expertise? Why do you know as much about lead generation? Talk to us about how you grew your web presence and things when you owned your lawn care business.
Sure. A lot of it's through trial and error. I was actually just on a podcast with Corey Ballard that's going to come out here in a little bit, and he asked me that question. And basically just trial and error. I have done a lot of things that haven't worked, but thankfully along the way I've learned a lot of things that have worked. And looking around the industry, I realized that some others hadn't come to the conclusions or seen the results. And so I want to save you the headaches that I've had to go through and speed up your process so you can be more profitable more quickly with less stress.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I tell you what, let's just, like we said, let's hop straight into the whole lead gen conversation. Talk to us about lead generation. I know you have some stuff that you wanted to bring to the table today, because this time of year, we're heading, if you're listening live, we're heading into the off season, and this is a time where it just work kind of gets dry for people, and it gets tough to keep on going, keep the work coming in. And in those times, it's hard to generate leads. Some people say that they can't get any work. They promote, they advertise, they do all this stuff, and they can't get anybody in. Nobody signed up, and it's a struggle that is just across the industry. Now, the guys who have been in business for quite a while have usually figured out how to keep themselves busy. year round, but a lot of guys that are in these first couple of years, like, this is a big pain point, and truth be told, could put you out of business if you don't know how to handle your winter time and make sure that the off season is you're prepared for it. So let's talk about lead generation and how we can. What are some things that you think that as a business owner we can bring to the table and up our close ratios, things like that, and then as also just like I said, bring in more leads.
Yeah. So first, I would just notice that, during the slow season, winter, of course, is fall. One thing I'd encourage everyone, obviously, you want to take a little time to rest, but those who are going to make it are going to bore down instead of getting bored. And what I mean by that is drill down instead of, just saying, well, it's wintertime, there's nothing to do, and you just sit around and do nothing. This is when you can take steps that you didn't have time for, whether you hire someone like Green Frog or you decide to do it yourself. This is when you can put in that work so that when more people are looking for services, that you're top of mind, that you're right there ready to service and help them.
Awesome, man. Is there anything? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and then we can kind of get into how to get them. Like, obviously right now, depends where you are in the country, the grass is not growing hardly at all. So you got to look at, okay, what are the other services I can offer? And then how can I get in front of them? But before you ever do that, your number one step when you're looking for leads is, okay, who is my ideal and likely buyer? And you may say, okay, what does that really mean? You say, okay, what kind of person is going to hire someone to cut a lawn, to blow leaves, to pick them up? Who's going to be the person that's going to spend $800 to $2,000 on Christmas lighting? Okay, you want to get a person in your mind that's going to do that. What I found when I did lawn care, the customers, it seemed to be always ladies who were calling. Just that's how it seemed to be. Sometimes it was men, most times it was ladies. And, you say, okay, this person is going to make a certain amount of money, and you want to get that in your mind. Who am I advertising to? And then gear all your branding, gear all your advertisements, gear everything to how can I attract and get this person to call me?
That's good. I mean, is there, when we talk about branding and things and trying to get people to call you, looking at your website and things, or let's talk to just trying to create the best brand that we can. Early on in business, it's like brand awareness is huge. You're just trying to grow. You're trying to get into your community, make sure that your name is out there more. Are there any certain things that you would say, like, hey, make sure you're doing this, and not even just like website aside, just like in your everyday business, as far as like just good marketing and branding mindsets for making sure that your business is out there and the community can see and know your name going forward?
Sure. And on that note, something you can do is I would recommend everybody have a uniform all the time. Now, it doesn't have to be, even if you just wear the same color shirt all the time, same color pants. Obviously, you want to be clean as you can. If you're mowing, it'd be a little trickier. But have a uniform. That helps. And then also, some people get so caught up on branding. Is my logo perfect? Is my little tagline perfect? In my opinion, yes, it does matter. But you look at some of the biggest brands out there. I'll use an example. One of my favorite, Apple. What does an apple with a bite out of it mean? I'm looking at my laptop right now, and on the top, that's what it has. What does that mean? In and of itself, an apple with a piece out of it means zero. It's what they've done after they designed it, right? So the work that comes after it. You look at your podcast, Growing Green. What does that really mean? It means really nothing but what you've done after you built it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get all caught up on, is my logo the perfect size? Is my font perfect? Yes, that does matter. You don't want it to look like it was designed by a 10-year-old. But in all reality, it matters what happens after that. So servicing the client well, showing up on time, being responsive, just kind of these basic things that in our industry really set you above all the other competition.
That's a really good point that I don't think is talked about enough, especially this time of year, because we talk about, like you said, bore down, don't get bored. When you're out this time of year, like, it's getting slower. I know the grass is slowing down. You're knocking out properties way faster than you normally would be in the summer. Well, here's what you have to do this time of year, and it's not always easy. You don't always think about it, but think about this next time you're on a property. If you finish a property in 15 minutes, where it usually takes you 25 to 30, but the grass didn't really grow and you're just blowing some leaves, you're cutting the top off, and you're not really doing that much work on the property, and you finish it 10 to 15 minutes earlier than you normally would. Well, yeah, this time of year is when you make up for some of that time that you lose in the summer. But at the same time, why don't you go the extra mile and do a little bit of extra on the property while you're there? Pick up a stick or pick up a limb or whatever it is that could be done for you. Maybe it's blowing some extra leaves out of a flower bed that you don't usually touch or something like that. And be careful because when you start doing things that are for free, people are going to start expecting that. So don't go too far, but do some things. Do some things that are a little extra, that take a little bit more time, and the customer will most likely notice that. And this is the time of year to be doing that stuff because you have extra time. And so take this time in the fall time here to go the extra mile. And it also, because when you do that, then it just makes the customer fall more in love with your company, and let that customer go sell for you. Like, we talk about lead generation. That's what we're going to keep getting into today. But we need to create customers that are salesmen for us. We shouldn't have to, once you've been in business 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you should always have a marketing plan in place. You should always be marketing. But the goal of it is to have our customer base selling for us. We should have 85 to 100 to 200 clients, however many people you service, that are out there generating leads for us because they're telling their friends, their neighbors, they're posting on their Facebook groups. And in doing that, they are going to become raving fans of our businesses by you going the extra mile sometimes. And it's easy to overlook that. It's easy to just fly through it and move on. Like, man, we're rocking and rolling, we're doing good. It's so easy to do that. I'm telling you, because I've done that. Like, when I'm in the field, I'm like, man, let's get this over with. Let's go home. We're ready to be done. Take the extra time because when you do that, then it really it shows to your clients more than you think it does. Go the extra mile and take care of things. So, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Ezra, but continue, man. I'm soaking this up like a sponge. I know everybody else is.
No, that was good. And I'll just start in on some concrete action steps. And this would be good to write down. One thing that is a wonderful tool that I found is to collaborate with businesses that are basically adjacent or next to you. So what I've done, when I had a painting company, I literally called up and went around to all the realtors in the area. And at one time, I got a hold of, I forget what it's called in the real estate industry, but he was over 20, 30 realtors. And I said, hey, can I bring in donuts and literally just tell people what I do? So I printed up on some nice photo paper, photos of some painting I had done. I brought in donuts. I mean, maybe it cost me $70. I can't remember. And I literally did a 10, 15-minute speech to these realtors. I handed out the photos. I said, hey, whenever you have a painting need, you call me. And in the town I was in, literally, you couldn't get a hold of contractors. It was so frustrating. I had some work I had to get done at the church I pastored, and I don't know how many people I called. No calls back, no text. And I literally, in my speech, I said, hey, when you called me, I held up my phone, and I see your number right here. I'm going to pick up, and you're going to get someone on the phone. And I had a little speech. I told them what I did. I left them the donuts, and I did get work from that. So going to businesses that are basically adjacent to yours, that you're not taking business away from them, but you're not only helping that owner, like in this case, the realtors, but you're helping the homeowner too. So I'm actually reading a book, talks about endless referrals by Bob Berg, and it talks about a win-win for both people. So like for the realtors, you're helping them, and you're also helping solve the businesses. Another example, what I'm doing here, I'm working to get into full-time web design. We have some, but until that's 100% off the ground, I am doing some roofing. And so there is a local gutter company here that I went and met them for coffee. And I said, hey, I'm not interested in getting into gutters. I don't want to do soffit, but, and that's underneath the eaves of the house. And I said, hey, I'd love to refer you. And then if you come across work. So I've already sent them, I've referred them at least 2 times. And I'm pretty sure at least one they've got it. So that's another example of an adjacent industry that I can help them, but I can also help the homeowner. I just referred them the other day, and the homeowner was like, "Oh, thank you so much for referring me." And I helped them out, but I also helped. So anyway, that's one example, and I don't know if you have something to say on that one before I go to the next one here.
No, that's good. I mean, I'm in multiple networking groups here at home, and that's a big. So you're saying like the adjacent businesses, what we call them, just same thing, different name, is like you have a direct referral source, and that's something that like, or a direct referral partner. That's really the best way to do it. Is like we have in the green industry, you have direct referral partners. You have mainly for us, it's like we do the lawn maintenance. Well, who's a direct referral for us, a direct referral partner? Well, who is that going to be? It's going to be the weed control and fertilization companies, because that's usually it goes hand in hand. If you're getting your grass cut, you need somebody to do the weed control and fertilization, and vice versa. So we have I have a couple companies around the area that we work with, and some of you guys know Jason Creel with the Lawn Care Life. He actually has his own weed control and fertilization company here in our town, and so we are direct referral partners. We go back and forth. He sends me work, I send him work, and it works very well. And so it's a hard referral for me is a painter is not an easy referral for me, because we don't come in contact with the interior of people's houses a lot. But now if you're a plumber and you're working inside somebody's home, well, then a painter could be a good referral partner for you, because you're in the home. People are talking about upgrades they want to make. They want to change this sink out. Can we help the plumbing? And then, oh, we got to get this wall painted. Like, you never know where that's going to go. So I think that's key. Get around people. We talk about networking here on the show all the time, but then inside of like one tier, a sub point below that is like, hey, get with a good direct referral partner that you can work with moving forward. That's an easy referral for you. You're not having to stretch to try to throw their name out there to somebody. So yeah, that's really good, man.
This is your invitation to Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023 in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 11th. The lineup is power-packed. You won't want to miss it. Learn from incredible speakers like Leroy Maines, Keith Kalfas, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Sam Gimble, Weston Zimmerman, and Jeff Joyner, just to name a few. Tickets are on sale now, and hurry because seating is limited to just 300.
Hey, what's up? It's Keith Kalfas. Get your tickets now for the 2023 Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
Once you purchase your ticket, you'll be added to our private Facebook group, where you can network with other attendees, get access to the discounted hotel room block, and get the inside scoop for the Friday night party, brought to you by Kohler. Thank you to this year's sponsors, Exmart, Sure Track Trailers, Yard Book, and Boss Snowplow for helping to bring this incredible event to life. We can't wait to see you November 11th, Novi, Michigan, at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get your ticket today at lawntrepreneur.academy.com or use the link in the podcast description. Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
Yeah, no, it's super helpful, and I've gotten a bunch of work doing that. And I would, highly recommend that. Another thing that you can do is offer referral incentives. So I've had varying results with different things, but just say, hey, when you finish with that job that you did a great job and they're so happy, you can say, hey, if you know anyone that needs lawn care, etc., you can literally say, hey, we'll give you this amount or take this amount off your next service, if that would help you. And that's just something long term. And I'll relate this to, I don't know if anyone's listening ever done a garden. Sometimes it's so easy. We say, hey, I want work right now today. And in the slow season, it's easy to try to pour money into things like Google AdWords. But part of the problem is in this time of year, there is just less people searching for those terms.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to spend exponentially more per lead, and it just may not make sense. So what you can do is use what you have at this time of year, which for some of us is time, and begin to put that in and begin to tend that garden so that when springtime comes, then all that seeds you planted will begin to bear fruit.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, and that's a really good point. Like, we talk about generating leads and things. Like, when you're doing it this time of year, you have to spend more. And that's what you're saying. Like, you have to spend way more than you would in the springtime. So that is a good thing to consider, is like, where is your time and money best spent at this point in the year? It might be joining a networking group and hitting that networking group hard over the next 3 to 5 months. Like, take people to lunch, get in front of property management companies, like do direct like face-to-face meetings, in-person meetings. That could be a good way to spend your time as opposed to just trying to run a paid ad. So yeah, man, I know you said you had a few action steps. I don't want to hammer down on one too long, so I'll let you continue there on to your next point.
Sure. Another one is go over your past customer list and upsell. So if you do lawn care, obviously most of us probably do, then go back and say, okay, are there any of these people that I can call, text, reach out to and said, hey, do you need leaves done? Are you looking at Christmas lights? Do you need your gutters cleaned if that's something you want to do? There are so many of these adjacent services. I remember one winter, and I was in college, I was roofing. It was really slow, and I said, hey, I want to draw some painting work. So I went over all the customers that I had done. Little handyman service said, hey, I'll take 10% off if you're interested in a painting service. And I landed at that time, it was a big job for me just because I called all my previous customers and I upsold and said, hey, I'll take this amount off if you're willing to basically get a quote.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep those. You got to keep those leads. You got to keep those leads warm, and that's something that I hear you hear if you follow anybody that knows anything about marketing or advertising. It's like you use what you have to your advantage. You don't always have to go get new. Use your current customer list and get an email list started and start promoting to them once a month about the services you offer. Because here's the thing, you never know, like you might market to them in June and saying they need their shrubs trimmed. Well, they might not need them in June, but they might need them again in September. So use that same customer base and just cycle through that over and over again. Changing out wordage, verbiage. You can change the images. But yeah, that's a good one, man. I'm a big believer in that, keeping that customer list that you have warm and stay in touch with them.
And then you actually stole my next action step right out of my mouth. Use email marketing. So what you need to have a CRM, and what that is a customer relations manager. So every single customer, you have to have their phone number. You have to have their email. You need to know their address. And if nothing else, you need to have all that info so that when you sell, whether that's a list, whether it's a customer, that's a business, that is your value. And if nothing else, you need to have that info for marketing, whether that's contacting them, whether it's through text, whether that's through email. In our business, service businesses, that is your value. That is where your business really derives its value. So the more info that customers are willing to give you, and the more you're willing to build that relationship to market, but really the more value your business is going to have. So this is the time of year. If you don't have that, maybe some of the customers, you just have their phone numbers. Maybe some of them, you just have their email. Then I would comb through your list and begin to fill that out and use that email marketing, whether it's through text, etc., and to stay top of mind as we were just referring.
Boom, boom, boom. That's good. That's good. What's next, man?
Okay, go and optimize every single free online resource you can. So go and, do you have a Yelp account? Are all of the options filled out? Do you have a Google My Business or a Google Business Profile account? Are all the options filled out? And I'm not even talking about hiring anyone. If it's slow, these are things you can do. NAP, or name, address, phone number. And what that is, and I'll back up a little bit, why that is important is Google looks and says, okay, we'll use your example, Growing Green Landscapes. Does this business appear across the web in the same format, with the same name, with the same phone number, with the same address attached to it? And if it's all over the web in lots of different places with the same info, then they're going to rank your business higher in the search results. And you say, okay, that may be a little, 401 if you're going to college, different classes. This may be a little more advanced, but if you have time in the winter, you can go to these address and service places and begin to put that in. And what you're doing is you're just tending that garden and to gather leads.
Yeah, that's really good. That's one that I don't think is utilized enough, period. That's probably, we could do a whole show on that. Myself included, I don't utilize that enough. The free resources that are out there just to make your business better. Like it is there for the taking. We just have to take the time to actually do it. And I'm preaching to the choir here because I know that that's an area that I lack in. And I think that some people might have to sit back and look at themselves and say, hey, do we look at hiring that out? If it's not something that you can do, everybody can do it. It's not hard. It's not high level stuff. But if it's not something that you have the time to do, or if you have the time, but you're not disciplined enough to do it, and it's not going to get done, then maybe looking at hiring that out, finding somebody that can do that stuff for you. Because although it is free, like that stuff costs you, like it costs you more to not do it than what it costs to do it, which is time. And so when you're not doing it, though, people aren't recognizing you. Google's not boosting you. Everything you said there, I think Google is a god with a little g in today's world. And so it's one of those things that, like, you want to make the little gods happy because they in turn could potentially make or break your business as far as who sees you out there on the interwebs.
It is not could, it's will.
Yeah.
They will make or break your business. Break in there. Next, I'll notice if you have time and not the leads, you can offer free resources to say top of mind. So this could be blog posts. This could be landscaping tips or tricks. All of these things are just ways you can attract new customers, get your name out, stay in front of your existing customers, especially over the slow season. These are all things you can do. I'll just throw in another one here. That one's kind of short. If you're looking for commercial work, now is the time, because here from now until spring, you want to get your name in front of those businesses. So I'll just stop right here and say you need killer business cards. Do not print out business cards on your computer. You're going to go into a business and you hand it in and they're going to throw it in the trash. You need quality business cards, and I don't get paid for it. I use it. I recommend it, but I unfortunately don't get anything for it. But my metal business cards, I'm telling you, they are gold. They are worth what you pay for them. They are expensive, but they're worth it. And then take those, or if you just can't afford it right now, get some decent business cards. Go to businesses and just tell them, hey, we would love to help you. I don't know if you're happy with your current provider, but we'd love to look at that and perhaps beat them. We could go over the quote, if nothing else. Just begin to get your name out to these businesses. And I know where I was in Texas, commercial work was so valuable because we would put them on a 12-month contract. And so I'd have a couple $1,000s coming in the winter. What would that do for your business? I mean, it's so big. And from now until spring is when those businesses are going to look at their contracts, and maybe when you go in the first time, they don't take you. But then if their lawn care company starts to be not doing a very good job, they don't show up when they say they are, they're going to say, oh, I remember that clean-cut lady that came in that handed this business card, and I'm going to call them. And so all of these things are action steps that you can take today to begin to build and tend that garden so you can get business and earn more money and get more time and financial freedom.
That's good, man. That's good. I mean, there's not much more than I can add to it than that. I mean, that's the basics there. It's not anything profound or high level. It's just the truth of what is necessary to get a good brand out there, grow the business, grow the name, things like that. Is there anything else that you got to add in there? Any more lists to go through, or is that all your bullet points?
No, that was my bullet points, and I'll just kind of hop on the train there, what you said. Most of business is not profound. It really isn't, but it is hard to stay consistent at. So as I mentioned earlier, during this time where things are just naturally slower seasons, unless you're doing snow, and unless you're in Wyoming, I heard there was a couple inches there the other day, you're not doing snow. So board down. Don't get bored and go look for something else. It's easy. As entrepreneurs, we're always looking for some other way to make money. Don't get distracted and get bored. Begin to bore down, and over time, you're going to see the exponential growth and see the results that you want.
I love it, man. It's a long game. It's not a short game. You're not going to get there overnight. You're not going to figure it out overnight. But it's something that when you put in the time, the effort, the work that's involved, then you will see results. And so I am very appreciative for you coming on today, man. It means the world that we have good friends like you in the industry that we can turn to. If people wanted to hook up with Green Frog, so talk about Green Frog really quickly before we wrap up. What is the benefit of getting on with you, getting the website built and everything moving forward?
Sure. One thing you can just about see results overnight is through your website. Green Frog, we, like I mentioned, we guarantee that done in 3 weeks or less. So what that helps you do is that helps you get a professional presence. I was just talking to a gentleman the other day, and he was telling me, on my website, I'm just kind of embarrassed to send people to it. And you do not want that to be your website. You want to have a website that converts. I was just talking to someone the other day, and I was saying, you want to design your website for people, not Google, not anything else. Those are important. But you want when people come to your page to see you, to know you, to like you, to trust you, and also to fill out the form, not to go there and have 1,000 words of text and their eyes glaze over and the font and the words are wrong color, and then you scroll to the bottom and it says proudly created by Wix, and it clearly shows that you built it, which there's no shame in that if that's where you started. But if it just looks janky, that's not what you want. So we offer monthly subscriptions. I know that a lot of businesses, especially right now, they may not have thousands of dollars to dump into that. So we want to help you. And so you can get that. Or if you're in business, we just helped a business, Sawyer Landscaping, get his live. And he's been in business several years. If you're a large business like he is or just started, we want to help any size business so you can succeed and find the results that you're looking for.
I love it, dude. I love it. I appreciate everything that you bring to the industry, what you bring to the table. You did a very good job growing your business and your Google reviews on your website back when you had your lawn care business in Texas. And so we've documented that story before. If you want to go back to our previous episode with Ezra, and I think we probably talked about it in there. But yeah, man, I hope that business is going good for you. Hope everything's going well. I thank you for investing into our listeners, our audience, and helping build great websites so they can grow their businesses, because everything you said is very, very true. It's not an overnight thing, but just little things, that just little steps you can take to make your brand better, your business better, and have more people coming in the door. So I'm excited to see where business goes here in the next couple of years for everybody out there, especially guys that get signed up with you and your business with Green Frog. And yeah, so what is the best way to get in touch with you if they did want to check out Green Frog and get a website?
Sure. You can either type in greenfrogwebdesign.com, and if you're bad with spelling like me, you can just type in ilovemyfrog.com, and that'll take you right there too, and hopefully you won't forget either of those.
All right, man. I love it. That you might have the most unique web designing name there is, but hey, that's what it is, right? That you want people to remember. So if you can remember the Green Frog, then you know you're in the right place. So good deal, man. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought tremendous value to you. I know it did to me. A lot of action steps we went through today that are literally like, here's the game plan. Here's what we're laying out for you. Just take these, put the effort behind them, put them to work, and you will see results over time. So again, it's not going to happen overnight, but you do these things, you put in the time and the effort, then you will see results in the long run. So thank you to Brian with Entrepreneur Academy for partnering with the show today and sponsoring, because all the things they have going on there are just like so awesome. Their contracts, their resources, everything there. Entrepreneur Academy Live is coming up November the 11th. Cannot wait to see everyone up there in Novi. It's going to be such a good time. We appreciate everyone that just supports this show, follows along, supports Entrepreneur Academy, because without them, we couldn't do the show. They help us keep the bills paid and keep the lights on, and so all that is necessary to do the show here. So we do it 3 times a week. We're just trying to grow the community one relationship at a time. That's what we're here for. Thanks, Ezra, for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a big 5-star rating and review if you did. But without any further ado, that's going to wrap this episode up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.